everyone, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. One that I've been ready to play for a long time. Game excitement. It came out a while ago. Actually, how much while ago? Last week, actually. However, it is Hearts of Iron 4. For those of you who don't know what Hearts of Iron is another Paradox Studio title. However, it focuses exclusively on World War II. And as such, it is really only the war part of World War II. There is some internal country management and diplomacy. It's all very, very, very basic and generalized for the most part. And really, it's only meant for just the war part of World War II, obviously, although political stuff is represented. Now, in Hearts of Iron 4, which I would say it's definitely more simplified than Hearts of Iron 3, or it's much more similar to Hearts of Iron 2, Darkest Hour, and Hearts of Iron 1. Well, there are some things that I don't like, but hopefully it doesn't make too much of a difference for us. Alright, so you have two starting points, either January 1st, 1936, or August 14th, 1939. How we're going to pick this one is this will give us the longest game and the ability to change history the most. Now, you do here on this front screen have 7 nations. Now, just a note for those of you in good old Deutschland, who are from good old Germany, you will have a blacked out Hitler, and you do have to get a mod. I believe it's one of the most subscribed mods that just adds his portrait back in. For everyone else, you get it for free. And I have 2 or 3 mods installed. None of them change gameplay. One of them just adds historical flags instead of having the German German battalion flag and the Imperial Japanese naval flag. I believe it does change a couple others, so none of them are here up front. And you either play as France, and by the way, I believe the leader for France and the United Kingdom are incorrect. So you can either start playing as France, the United States, United Kingdom, German Reich, Italy, Japan, or the Soviet Union. Now each of these guys, including Poland, have fleshed out national spirits and focuses that makes them different than everyone else. Now obviously these are some of the strongest countries you can play as. However, we are not going to be playing that because, as I've always done, I've never played as one of the strong countries. I actually think Spain is also another one that has a fleshed out focuses. Belgium and Netherlands, I don't think. Poland does. However, we are actually going to be playing as Turkey. Now, I was originally thinking of, alright, maybe we could play as Iran. However, I did play some games as Iran, and it always just turned into a really, 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 really long slug. Ooh, let's fix that. Slug into the mountains here. Even with mountaineers, it just took forever to get through. And it's not that it was impossible, I just didn't have fun doing it. However, as Iran, if you do play as them and you do load up, you can pretty much take Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Afghanistan pretty easily. However, playing as Turkey, not only do we circumnavigate that problem completely, it is our advantage. Even to the point where the Soviets invade us, which I really hope does not happen, and based on what I plan to do, well, actually, I'm not sure yet. I'm still debating. It shouldn't happen. You can also get a similar game playing as Greece. As Greece, I actually have a private game going on where I play as Greece and I've invaded Bulgaria, Romania. I invaded Yugoslavia, but all my allies joined me, and then I only got like a little slither of territory. And I have a big chunk of the Ukraine there because we managed to hit a glass. Managed to beat the Soviet Union. That was fascist in that one. So we are going to be playing as Turkey, with our leader is Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, who is responsible for reforming the Turkish state into its modern form. Although more specifically, if you want to get real specific, transforming the Ottoman Empire all the way into what is now known as Turkey. Now we do have an oil shortage, and we're going to import it from the Soviet Union first, just because it's not going to really make much difference right now who we pick to trade from. So technologies, the first ones we're going to want to get is support weapons. That's just a really good one that increases almost all of our infantry, mechanized infantry performance. There's no reason not to get it. However, I'm also going to go right into getting engineering and industry. Now, one thing if you play as one of these minor nations is that almost always you are much farther behind in technology than the larger nations are, such as the Soviet Union, Poland, the Germans, and France. While those guys may have tanks, artillery, and more advanced infantry weapons, as you can see, we don't have any of that. Oh, and one of the other mods I'm using, it adds colored, makes these icons colored. And I did that just because it's easier for me to use. Not just easier, it's for me specifically. A lot of people are using it. Insufficient resources, we do need more. The Soviet Union can trade for it. Fine, maybe we have free military factories and we have plenty of. So I'm actually going to cancel that fighter because we don't actually need to do that. And I'm going to put all of our resources here into making infantry equipment. We have no divisions of basic training, so let's fix that. Oops, wrong button. So let's fix that immediately. Now, at times I may zoom in, especially around here, just to make sure I click on the right provinces. However, I'll probably spend a good amount of time around here at this zoom level, so you'll only be able to see the NATO symbols. Mostly because I don't care very much for all the others. Well, the 3D models are good. I mean, it's nice that they're there. I will probably never, ever play with just them. So we have civilian factories. So with our civilian factories, we're going to order them. We're going to make some more civilian factories first. The reason we're going to do that is that affects how quickly. Let's go a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's going to affect how quickly we can build up our infrastructure. Now I'm pretty much going to abandon all of them. My whole eastern side of the country, mostly because I don't plan on getting invaded. I don't plan on getting invaded at all. Although at times it is useful to stay back. Now, I think, well, here we can look at our parties. We have some of our laws, limited conscription, expert focus, and the civilian economy. Here with our focuses, it's a very generic one, just land army, air, naval, industry, and political. We are definitely going to go down the collectivist ethos, just because we're going to try and restore the Ottoman Empire. Now, I was debating on whether or not we should go communist or fascist. With communist, we'll have better morale and we'll have more political power. However, with fascist, we will have more military power. And it also changes who we can ally with. If we go fascist, obviously, we'll be able to ally with the Germans and the Italians and the Hungarians much, much easier. However, if we go communist, which could also be very helpful, we obviously have our big buddy neighbor up here, the Soviet Union, who may not appreciate it very much if we are a fascist country. However, at the same time, we have all of these mountains right here, other than that one. And even then, we could probably we have a plains province there and a hill, and that's really the only one we'd have to focus our troops on. The rest of them, we could probably just pull back a bit. There is no shame in pulling back to a better defensive position. I actually did a fascist run as Mexico, where I only did it just to see how far I could get, so I kind of went too early. And I invaded the United States, and I got about around here before I just quit because I was getting tired and frustrated. I definitely invaded too soon. I did it just to see if I could do it. And it sucked invading through all these mountains, by the way. However, at one point I was kind of forced to just pull back into the mountains just because it gave me a better advantageous position. Actually, another point, playing as Cuba may actually be fun on my own. So let's actually unpause the game completely. Let's add more units to this. Alright. So we have low manpower right now. That's gonna happen. However, since I think we're definitely gonna go fascist, that won't end up being that great of a problem, because many of the fascist policies will increase our recruitable population without changing our conscription laws. And the lower levels of conscription won't affect your economy that much, but the higher and higher they go, they can start affecting your economy and their recruiting time. Same thing with your economy laws. If you go to a full wartime economy where everything's dedicated to the war, you're going to be taking some of that stuff away from building your infrastructure. So we are going to take some attrition as we're moving around here just because it's a lot of mountains and desert. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take Bulgaria, and then we'll probably move into Greece. Whether or not we go to Yugoslavia next is going to be debatable, although I think I'd rather move into Iraq, because Iraq has oil, and I'd rather not import it. Now, an invasion of Iran, getting revenge for the Ottoman Empire's longtime rival, is something we could do. However, that's kind of also the same thing, and even worse, because almost all of central Iran is actually less than I thought it is. A lot of it is just, well, still a lot of it is mountains. Really, the only way we would probably win is if we just push straight through to Tehran. Moving into Iraq and then taking Saudi Arabia and then Oman and then Yemen would be much, much easier. And Egypt and Syria tend to be pretty much completely undefended. I gotta stop hitting stuff. So one thing I actually ordered off of Newegg is I got a 144 hertz monitor. I'm really excited for using it. Obviously you guys in videos will never see the difference, because YouTube, not only does YouTube only go up to 60 frames per second, well, actually I don't edit videos ever, so I guess it wouldn't matter much for me for compression time. Although if I did, the bitrate would probably have to go so high I would have to pretty much just cap it at 60 FPS anyway. And most of my games rarely ever go over 70 or 80. Battlefield 4 can cream through that with my computer, and obviously Team Fortress 2 and Counter-Strike, it's not a hard feat to achieve, having a lot of frames. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm mostly excited to see the difference, and I'll probably keep my original monitor. I'm using right now. My original monitor, well, actually I really want to keep my original monitor because I'm going up to, on August 24th I'll be heading to college. And don't worry, I'm not going to stop YouTube then. For the few of you who do watch and like watching my stuff, I will not stop. I enjoy doing it, so I'll keep doing it. Who knows, I might actually have more time to do it, or at least be on a more consistent schedule. Because I actually was reading something, apparently when you have less time, you use that time better. One thing I don't like about Hearts of Iron 4 is the portraits. Although here you'll see that's an actual portrait, that's an actual portrait, that's an actual portrait, actual people. Demilitarization of the Rhineland, that's not that surprising, no one should be surprised. Lithuania, hey, that's all the same guy, and for them he's even wearing the exact same tie and suit. Oh yeah, one thing I want to apologize for is for RoboWorld. So with OBS, whenever I name the file, it gives out. It so let's say like the current one I did was called Vamps because I was recording some episodes for a Vampire Council Let's Play, which got scrapped, so those videos don't exist. It's just what the file was called. And the first one it spits out will be whatever I put it, so Vamps. However, the second one will be Vamps parenthesis 1 parenthesis. So occasionally I forget the order and I uploaded the wrong episode. So I still have the file. I'm not sure if it's worth uploading. I may do it. Nothing exciting happened, I don't think, in the episode. So apologies for that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're definitely going to invade Bulgaria. Now, there is this army thing that you can do with the Spanish Civil War. We are going to want the nationalists to win because since we're going to go fascist, obviously having them in the Axis would be beneficial. We don't have to join the Axis if we don't want to. We can make our own faction. However, it's highly unlikely we'll get anyone to join us. Unless... that could be very interesting. Once we become fascist, influence Iran to become fascist, and then have them join our faction. I'm not sure it'd be worth it though. We'll definitely have to see how the cards fall later on. So just so you know, I'm going to flat out say it now, I am not good on the aircraft aspects of Hearts of Iron. I've never been. I was terrible at Hearts of Iron 3. I was okay at Hearts of Iron 2, although I ever did it so I could play Kaiserreich. And I never played Hearts of Iron 1. Don't even own it. So the Steam summer sale is coming up, I'm pretty sure. That I am excited for. I have about like $146 dedicated to it. I'll probably end up going a little bit over. I'm definitely going to try and pick up The Witcher 3. I can't believe I still don't own it. I've heard so much good stuff about it that I just want it so bad. Battlefleet Gothica. Battlefleet Gothic, not Gothica. Is there anything else? Ooh, one thing I want to pick is we can modify our government. We can pick a political advisor. Now, a good amount of these guys just give you benefits for your nation, like military factory construction speed, dockyard construction speed, and civilian factory construction speed. However, there's always 3 of them that will start leading you toward one of the 3 factions: fascism, democracy, and communism. So we're going to pick the fascist one. Now, what this does is this text is going to be pretty much the same no matter what country you are, and it's just only slightly different for each one. For each of the different factions, it's mostly just picking. This increases the chances of a coup. However, the bottom one is a popular support. So this one is mostly just your government will change. However, the people may not still be aligned. However, this one is once you get the people in the power holding a referendum will take control. I like going this one more just because it decreases the chance of a civil war. At least I think it does. I've never actually... I did pick one, the top one before, or I ended up having the popular support anyway. Republican Spain has moved troops for our territory. Yeah, I've noticed that Republican Spain asks everyone, like, around here for military access. I'm guessing the reason why is the AI thinks to itself, alright, I need to move the troops here all the way around. We have a technology finished. Great. So now next we're going to get... let's get construction one. That'll help us build our buildings faster. That's always a good thing to have. Now after we get the first fascist doctrine, the one that'll increase our switch over to the party, I'm going to go down the industrial line because that will help us kickstart our military industry. Most of the minor nations, in fact, most of the nations in the game in general, don't have great military industries to start out with. I believe France only has 8, Germany has more, but Germany actually has quite a few more, but not enough for to use it to all effect. We're really going to need to push as much into the industry as we can. Because how many factories affects how much we can actually use the resources we have. There's nothing good about having this stuff if we can't use it. We do have a small navy. And actually, I'm probably going to put that fleet all the way there in Istanbul. Was Istanbul renamed Istanbul during World War I or World War II? Oh, I don't remember which one it was. I think it might have been World War I, or at least in between. So we can use this army thing. We can draw plans, although it's going to be pretty straightforward. And I don't like using it just because the AI moves stuff around and the border moves with you. I don't like it. I like Hearts of Iron 3's much, much better. Resource map, let's look. So when we take Bulgaria, we will get aluminum. And that's it. When we take Greece, we will get a lot more. We will get more chromium, although I have plenty of that. More steel, which is going to be very valuable. And then tungsten. And some more aluminum. Tungsten is what you need to make artillery, and steel is obviously used in pretty much almost everything. And obviously, if we move into Iraq, we will get lots of oil. Same thing with Iran. And I guess if we ever go to war with the Soviet Union, we take the oil fields here in Baku, however you want to pronounce it, will be very beneficial. See, pretty much every situation, getting concentrated industry is better than the other options getting dispersed. Let's see, is there anything specifically we want to research right now that would be beneficial? And I guess mechanical computing. We do want to research to getting decryption, because that'll give us more info on our enemies and gives us just a generic straight off the bat bonus. Here we have the factions map mode. This just shows you what each faction everyone's in. Pretty much just the common turn, allies, and the very small axis. However, the axis will start expanding, probably to Italy, and obviously when Germany itself expands, the axis will too, possibly with us at some point. The war down here in Spain is going interestingly. I think the nationalists have more land than they start out with. However, I have seen the Republicans win quite a few times. Ooh, that's not good. Looks like the Republicans are pushing forward. It would be nice to have a nationalist Spain, because that could obviously help Germany and Italy when invading France. One thing I've had the United Kingdom do every game is they invade Italy somewhere here along the western coast. I even had them invade Rome just right off the bat. No hesitation. And Italy does nothing to stop them. One time I actually had them take the entire Italian peninsula other than the Po Valley up here. And then I hate Yugoslavia with a deep passion, because every time I invade there I get stuck in the same problem. In my campaign it's Greece, when I invaded right here, I didn't have enough mountaineer troops and they just demolished me. So we do have some aircraft, all 2 of them. While they're going to be nice to have, they're ultimately not going to change anything. So the fascist party is increasing its size. I'm going to bump the speed up mostly because we're just sitting around waiting. Modify, oh, I'm right there. Modify government. Yeah, let's get captain of industry. Having that increase of how everything's built will be nice. Because as these keep increasing in size, as our industry keeps growing, we are able to devote more resources to constructing. There we go, nationalism focus completed. Now we're going to go straight to industrial. So now if we look, yeah, it's increasing by 0.2 a day. And we will possibly get some events that will increase the rate that this happens. Games of the 11th Olympiad. I'm not going to read most of the fluff. Obviously, I'll make a note of it. That was the one with Jesse Owens in it, who was the most celebrated athlete of the game, and was the one who Hitler refused to shake his hand. This is not looking good for our nationalist friends. Aw, poor Ethiopia. I've never seen them once survive, and I don't think they could. I'm sure a player could probably beat Italy without too much of a problem. Can I just set these guys to shoot everyone? There we go, more technologies done. So now let's get armament efforts. And we'll get construction 2. Now there is a technology penalty for researching things ahead of time. However, since we actually have a 50% bonus to our research speed on industrial technologies, this is actually a good thing for us to research, even if it's a little bit ahead. Generally, if it's like 0.3 years ahead, maybe sometimes 0.5 for certain techs, I think it's okay then to just suck it up and just research it then. There we're at about a little over a quarter. Yeah, like the improved machine tool, it's 0.09 years ahead. That's worth doing. Modify government. Let's go into army offensive. Now, after we take Greece, Romania is somewhere we can invade if we want to. However, Romania is going to take a little bit more preparation. Mostly just because there's more land, and we will have these mountains to contend with eventually. There we go. First armament effort done. That'll give us access to another factory, and since I already queued up them to use it, we are all good. And guys, we're going to have to end the episode for this time, so I'll see you all later. Peace!